Hey guys, so I'm back. I'm going to make a set of dominoes to match the chess set that I've been making. So I'm going to use the same colors. I'm going to do the black chameleon front and then a clear foil and blue on the back. So let's mix it up. I mixed up a bunch of resin because I'm going to use this for something else as well. I had a casualty on 2 of my chess pieces. Due to my own hulkness, I popped the tops. So I'm gonna, being that it's the same color that I'm gonna make for the front of the dominoes, I made a little extra so I can re-pour them. Yeah. So I mixed up a bunch of resin. It sat for a little bit. Okay. I'll take my little mini scooper. Ooh. It's time to alcohol that jar. And I'm going to take the same color, so I'm going to use some graphite black. I don't want the black so see-through because the back with the blue is going to be more clear. So I wanted to have a sturdy color in the front. And probably do like, almost like a chrome blue for the numbers. I was thinking gold, but I think the blue will be a lot nicer. We're going to mix that up. I'm going to get better lighting down here. The lighting down here is really not the greatest. Even when I put the main light on, it's not, just not quite right. Mix it really well, because I did put 3 different chameleon colors and I want to make sure they're nice and blended, so one doesn't look too green over the other one, or the other one doesn't look too blue because of the cast of the powder. Okay, and the most important right now for me is to do these 2 pieces because I need the molds to get started on the other pieces. So I'm just going to take alcohol, 91%, get it in there, not overdo it, but enough where it gets down in the nubs. because the bishops have that little point at the top. And if you don't make it sturdy enough, someone like myself, who is not very light on her hands, I ripped it off. I mean, I didn't rip the whole thing off, but it's like half. And the other one's perfect. So, but they came out really pretty. Gotta get better lighting. Gotta give them a little buff just at the bottom, but they're really pretty. Okay, so let that sit for a second with some of the bubbles out. Now I'm gonna pour these and set them off to the side. I'm gonna pour half. I like to pinch the bottom of the top when I start pouring so that I can let it go. And it sucks it down there immediately, you know, like you're just gonna squeeze, let those bubbles rise and kind of pop. And then let it slowly drip down again so it gets really, those ridges are a pain. You gotta kind of look through it, see if it's still clear, and keep pinching. Okay. And when you get the bubbles out, it takes a little patience. All the rest will kind of fall down in there and fill in that ridge. Just keep pinching and pulling. Okay. I'll let that sit for a second while I pour the other one. And again, I'm gonna pinch because the bishops have that little nub on top. Kind of let it fill up halfway while you still have it pinched. Keep pinching, get those bubbles, and then let it all kind of fill in, and it'll drop in there quite nice. You gotta pinch that little guy all the way at the top. I broke the other one. No, I broke that was what I broke. I ripped the nub, so it won't matter because I have the holder coming. I'll pour a little more. You want to make sure they're halfway full for a few minutes before adding any more. I just want to keep pinching that part there. See that little nub? Kind of just gotta pull it too. And do your squeeze. Looks like the bubbles are the big bubbles are pretty much gone, so that's when I stop. I don't worry about every little baby bottle. There's got a little bubble hanging out. I'm gonna just squeeze it. Pop it before it makes its way in there. There we go. These I spend some good time on because they cannot attach at the head, and then you're two separate pieces. And I could just UV resin them and put them back together, which is a resin saving thing. But I'm making this anyway, so I'll show you what I mean. So this one came out without the top. Came out separate. But it's so perfectly done still that I could take some UV resin and just, you know, mend her. But we're about a solid product, so I will not do that. I will just make a new. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. All right, so I'll take a little toothpick, pop any bubbles that might be sitting at top, and then I'm going to go down into the bottom. Oh. Go down into the bottom just a little bit, swirl it around, and make sure it really gets down in there. Same thing here, go straight down, pull straight up, give it a little wiggle room. You want to make sure that little nub is filled in. Give it another pinch. No big bubbles. They look good. There's no big bubbles going on. Oh, I just made one though. There we go. And we're going to top them off now. Slow and steady. I love it, but it's so sticky, so you gotta, I don't really do anything very slow, so it's a good patience builder. Pinch it really good. Nice and level, nice and filled. And let it cure 3 days for those little 2 pieces. So it's really important to like have multiple molds, especially if you have multiple projects. So I'm gonna pour the dominoes. Just gonna do a thin layer of this. So whatever I have left over, I'll just pour and make little. I bought these, the cutest little dinosaur charms. Oh my god. This is why I poured extra too, so once I run out of this, I can easily just pour up another batch instead of having to mix, wait. The resin I use, you get 45 minutes to do what you gotta do. And once I get the first row done, I kind of stop because You want to get those corners in. You want to move from the inside out. You want to make sure those corners and sides are really nice and filled in. And then if you over pour, you can move it over and you're not, you know, wasting or needing to mix more product. The resin's very forgiving for, I'd say probably, I don't know, I feel like almost 20 minutes. So like if you do something and you're not really totally happy with what it's looking like, or you need to like pop bubbles, add another layer without having to wait forever, that kind of thing. And if you didn't pour enough, like this one, I didn't pour as much as I would like, I can go back and fill it in before I use the rest of it. It's just being resin smart. Once you have the products, you know, like the additives, the powders and the dyes and all that stuff, it's relatively not that expensive to do this particular business. But if you don't mix enough, or, you know, errors happen, like my chest pieces, you wind up mixing more than needed, and, you know, that goes a little faster, but it's more the resin. So you want to be as conscious as you can with how to not have to keep mixing more. So I got myself little mini charms that I could use in pieces for my excess resin as well. So it's not going to waste. Okay. So like these, I have a little extra than these ones. So I'll take just a little bit out of this one, bring it to this one. It's going to level out, and I'm going to keep going.